Right, you're still on to Good Morning Nigeria on the NTA, and our newspaper reviewer, Chukwudi Okolie Ubaja, is around the building, but we'll take this quick break and we'll get right to it.
Victor was very eager to bring Chukwudi Okolie Ubaja on set. Yeah, he's right here in the studio and looking at me and I'm wondering what I'm up to this morning. Chukwudi, good to see you. Good morning.
I was almost jumping in and asking him, am I around on top? Inside,
under,
beside,
I think
under the building.
Sometimes,
you know, Nigerian politicians are always contesting under the platform. And you say, how do we see if you're contesting under the platform of the APC or PDP?
Or on the platform.
My phonetics teacher, a British woman, said, prepositions are the greatest headache in English. And that is the truth. You know? So policemen will tell you that they will shoot at sight. And you say, no, that's not how it works. You don't shoot at sight, you shoot on sight. And you make a sentence to clarify. At sighting the criminal, the police open fire. On sighting the criminals, I say, oh, it's on, please. You know, these things are very funny. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to be here. And it's a Friday.
We're happy to have you.
Happy Women's Day.
Oh, yeah. I said the other time, women and children are underreported in Africa. So I should be jubilating that a day to remember you. Where's Claire? She's on leave. A day to remember ladies is set aside. Ladies bear the brunt of life on earth. We must,
absolutely.
We must eulogize, adulate, and take them to the high heavens in terms of praise.
Beautiful. I'm glad that you're taking that direction because, you know what you would have gotten from me this morning. But, yeah, let's take a look at what the papers have for us this morning. We'll begin with the Vanguard News paper. The lead story, not on women, it's on the minimum wage. And it says NLC TUC splits, want different pay in zones. Of course, there are other riders here. You want to pick up a copy of the Vanguard to see all of that. So much drama, if you like, higi haga, as regards the minimum wage going on at the moment. Above the masthead, we have Edo Guba. Women, youths want suspension of Shaibu's impeachment process. Next to that, you left me with enormous shoes to fill. That's credited to Wigwe's daughter. Herbert Wigwe's death, lost to Africa, credited to the former Vice President Osinbajo. Reps to review 2024 budget, demand assessment of current exchange rates, and above that, CBN to sanction DFIs, PMBs, MFBs over late submission of returns. Page 19 got all you need. Looking below the picture story of the Vanguard newspaper this morning, a very worrisome headline here. Bandits invade Kaduna school, kidnap over 200 pupils, teachers. And that's on page 9. Very, very sad development coming from Kaduna. And that's, you know, few days after the kidnap again in Borno. You know, away from that, new satellite pay TV will give Nigerians value for money. And that's credited to the federal government. Looking away quickly now from the Vanguard, the Daily Trust is next. The lead story, of course, is the abducted students. But this, the figure on the Daily Trust is different from the Vanguard. Daily Trust says bandits abduct 287 students. Principal from Kaduna School. Over 20 orphans among victims. School not fenced. Principal killed recently. Wife abducted. They will be rescued. That's coming from Governor Sani. We are trailing attackers, coming from the police. Details on page 4. Above that, yes, the Daily Trust is you know, being nice to the women. We have special edition on International Women's Day right here. And Tinubu suspends REAMD, 3 others over alleged 1.2 billion naira misappropriation. Details on page 5. Looking beside the picture story now, we have pilots survive as Air Force suffers mishap in Kaduna. Borno dispatches team to rescue abducted female IDPs, and that's on page 5. 2 killed as robbers attack banks police station in Kogi. Finally, from the Daily Trust, ACF backs reps members push for parliamentary system. Victor.
All right, and on the front page of the leadership, and just above the nameplate, you have $6.2 million fraud, no forensic examination of Emefiele's signature. That's according to a witness, and you'll find that on page 7. Matawale orders arrest of coup agitators. That's on page 6. And then below the nameplate, of course, the major headline, screaming one by the way, fear grips Kaduna, bandits abduct over 200 children, teachers. With the rider, Northern elders raise concerns over rising kidnapping cases. All abducted children will return. That's according to Governor Sani as he vows. And then reps want Borno IDPs released. And you find a picture story just below that, where Kaduna State Governor Ubasani listens to one of the teachers, Sani Abdullahi, explaining how bandits invaded the joint primary and secondary school in Kuriga community in Chikun local government area and whisked the school children away just yesterday. And then Kanu Assembly clears 44 nominees for LG chairman. That's on page 18. Finally, NLC, TUC differ on minimum wage. That's on page 7. Of course, the story is that the NLC is offering 700 and is requesting 709,000 naira minimum wage, and the TUC is requesting 447,000 naira minimum wage. Such a difference.
Victor, they're asking for how much when Chukudi has retired? Is it fair?
So are you saying we shouldn't get more?
I talked about me, I didn't talk about you. Let me sound a little, let me sound a little selfish.
In the mood to power.
I love our energetic rebellion. Now, Victor, first of all, they say that NLC and TUC disagree over figures and all that. And I say that introduces dynamism in the process. The federal government, which is the common denominator, at the end of the day, they are going to, through the legislators, say what eventually people will go to people. They are saying will ensure that sustainable salaries get into the pockets of Nigerians and all that. Let them keep talking. I like the process so far. I keep on preaching, on this platform. I like the process so far. Let them keep talking. And the fact that TUC and NLC are not agreeing tells me there is no underhand business complicity, conspiracy against government. It means that it is free for all in the good sense. Let us all bring it all to the table and see what percolates from it all into that wonderful basket of pay pocket we're expecting for the areas of this world. I hope that makes her happy. Now, the one I feel very bad about is the reported adoption of about 287. It doesn't make sense. The Borno IDP abduction, when did it happen?
On Sunday.
Sunday. Many married women, single girls, are now in captivity. We don't know what their fates will become. And on the heels of that, we're hearing about this abduction in Kaduna. Fine, Governor Ubasani is telling us they'll all be returned unharmed. But the question you ask is, why do we tend to act from behind? Why wouldn't we be proactive rather than reactive?
Every single
280 something. How did they ferret them out?
The figure actually is 312 students that were abducted, but 25 returned. They escaped, and that's what brings the figure to 287.
That tells you that handling the number should be cumbersome. That's why those people were able to leave, to escape. And if it is cumbersome for them, isn't it an opportunity for security men to be able to?
Them.
I don't like it.
The
harrowing experience we've put lives to in the north is not something, particularly in the north. It's everywhere now, but it's particularly in the north. It is not a good story for any Nigerian to tell at all. I hope I'm visibly angry enough, you know, even though that's not going to change matters too much. It's not fair.
Primary school children. So imagine how fast they can walk. And
the torture.
No, I'm just thinking about
Of
how
course,
everything
there's the fear
happened.
factor. Of course, they'll be so scared that when you point a gun at them and say, move in there, they move.
Still,
but
the
then,
toil.
how do you
the
convey?
toil will tell on them.
How do you convey
What I'm thinking
the
is how the incident happened and security operatives were not able to
That
get
is it.
to them, you know, before they got into the bush. Because you're having pupils in primary school. I don't expect to walk so fast. And looking at the number, they couldn't have carried them. So they walked.
They must have
They walked.
some
So,
of the distance.
I mean, the time that it would have taken them to get into the bush, couldn't have security operatives have responded.
They are not
to
so
that.
much out of civilization. Please, everybody
Yeah.
in the world is in civilization.
I
By
But
the
some
way, we
people
know
are
there are
tapped.
security challenges in these areas. And so the security
Should have been
forces are
beefed
not
up in
too
those
far.
areas.
They are not too far away. They are there.
Security should have been beefed up in those areas, given the fact that earlier stories of abductions have happened.
In
You
schools.
should expect it. You know, some religious people will tell you it is bad for you to have a negative expectation. That's why many things happen to us in this world, in this part of the world. You should expect trouble so that you can preempt it. When you now begin to cast and bind and say, no, it will never happen to us,
This
it's
is very,
not the way to go.
It's very worrisome. Aside
It is
the
worrisome.
security issue, you're looking at the fallout of events like this. Some of these children, even when they regain freedom, may never go to school again. We're talking about
The psychological trauma, my sister.
The girls
Some parents
among
will
them never return the same.
Exactly.
When soldiers talk about post-traumatic stress, CVs like us don't understand it. Some soldiers, when they come back from war, still wake up in the middle of night screaming. The same thing will happen to our children who suddenly find themselves before the barrel of the AK-47. And you think it's something taken out of Nollywood or Hollywood. It's not right. We have to become more proactive. And that concerns the soldiers, the policemen, Victor, Nyere, Chukwudi, and the rest of us. See something, say something, nip it in the bud. Enough is enough.
Indeed, enough is enough. And
quickly, one of my stars, you know, I talk about Babagana Zulum and the NDLE man every time. I want more Nigerians to emulate their efficiency. The NDLE man, that's Buba Marwa, is saying that an act to boost the amendment of the NDLEA Act, which is an ongoing thing now, is likely to boost the war against illicit drugs. And I want to use the opportunity to say, hey, legislators, give it to Marwa and his boys. Please, when I say boys, because they are people handling arduous tasks, I know that women are among them as well. But that team should be encouraged. That's the message I'm putting out.
Absolutely.
They should be encouraged because they are doing so well.
yeah, really?
They are.
I think we've done.
yeah, it looks like the major stories. Many thanks, Chukwudi, for your time with us again today.
The way you're sounding, it means you sound as if the parrot still has time to talk.
Well, we wish you again a happy Women's Day and do take care of Madam.
No, I sure.
And all the women in your life.
I call
Not just Madam,
my Chari babe.
All the girls in your
forever
life.
look after her by God's grace.
All right.
Happy Women's Day, Nyere.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
By the way, I expected you to come with gifts, but I pardon you and
No,
Victor.
it probably has it behind the scenes. We thank Chukwudi for his review this morning, and we'll take a break. When we return, Good Morning Nigeria continues.